Good morning, children. We are discussing about the chapter 15. So today, example of critiquing the CA debate. That means when the drafting constitution was presented, then there were so many debates about that. Many criticisms of the draft constitution. Some like Maulana Harsat argued that constitution is merely a copy of 1935 Act. So he said that Maulana Harsat said that our constitution is just like a copy of 1935 Act. It was reminded that during the freedom movement, when cabinet mission visited India, political groups like Indian National Congress demanded universal adult franchise. So when cabinet mission came to India, so that time Indian National Congress demanded the universal adult franchise or suffrage, but it was and opposed in 1935 Act. The British cabinet mission did not agree with it. People like Damodar Swarup said, a socialist pointed out draft does not adapt from more recent constitution of the time like Soviet Union and ignores. So Damodar Swarup said that he is a socialist. That's why he said that our draft does not adapt from more recent constitutions like Soviet Union. So that time Soviet Union was newly formed. Okay. So DS said also argued the members of the CA were not elected by the adult franchise. So as you know that these CA members were not elected, okay, directly by the people. So like that many criticisms were made. So some of the critics were just S.C. Banerjee, S.C. Banerjee, then Sri Rohini Kumar Chaudhary, K.M. Munishi. So, in the different ways, different people were argued and criticized. So, let us take an example on the fundamental right. On the fundamental right, Mr. Pramata Rajan Thakur said, pointed to which I wish to refer is a relation clause of 6 regarding untouchability. Okay, untouchability. Regarding this untouchability, it has never, what is untouchability? It is not described in our constitution. S.C. Banerjee said, untouchability actually requires clarification. That means it has not been clarified. We have been accustomed to this word for last 25 years. Still there is a lot of confusion as to what it connotes. Sometimes it means merely taking a glass of water, and sometimes it has been used in the sense of admission of a Harijan into the temple. So in the different ways, in the different aspect, it has been defined in the different way. Like Sri Rohini Kumar Chaudhary, he said that defining untouchability, it may be clearly stated that untouchability means any act committed in exercise of the discrimination on the ground of religion, caste, and unlawful violation of life. So, like this, different people like S.C. Banerjee, Rohini Chaudhary, K.M. Munishi, and at last Dhirendranath Datta. One more, Dhirendranath Datta. So in the different people has criticized the constitution on the different way. There was a debate about it. Datta said that, sir, it seems to me that whether the definition suggested by Mr. Rohini Kumar Chaudhary is accepted or not, it is necessary that there should be some definition put in. Here it is said that untouchability any form is an offense. So untouchability is an offense. It has been described. It has been stated in the Constitution. Okay. So like that, many more people they debated on this regarding the untouchability. So this is the debate has been occurred before the adaptation of the Indian Constitution, before it was adopted. Okay. Now Constitution as a social engineering. Constitution and social engineering. So what is this social engineering and the Constitution? The makers of the Indian Constitution comforted the fact that Indian society was ridden with inequality. So it was there and still it is there also. Inequality, injustice, deprivation, and was victims of colonial policies that time, which had exploited our economy. Exactly, India was under the British rule for the 200 years, and the Indian economy was totally exploited by the British people, colonial people. Then the Constitution had to facilitate social change and a development. So we need a development, a social change we require. Jawaharlal Nehru said that the Constituent Assembly represent the nation or on a move of throwing away the shell of its past political and possibly social structure and fashioning for itself a new garment in its own making. So Nehru said that we are going to throw it out, the past policies of the British. The Constitution has many provisions facilitating social change. So for a social change, whatever the things have been written in our Constitution, you have read about the abolition of untouchability. Already you came to know about it. The best example of this is the provision of reservation of SC and ST reservation. As these people were SC and ST people were deprived of their right. So in the Constitution there was mentioned the scheduled caste and for the reservation of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people. The makers of the Constitution believed that mere granting the right to equality was not enough to overcome age-old injustice suffered by this group. So since a long time they have been deprived of their right. That's why they thought that just bringing the equality is not sufficient. We have to give some more privilege to these people. Special constitutional measures were required to advance their interests. Therefore, the constitution makers provided a number of special measures to protect the interest of these scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. That's why they made a reservation of these SC and ST people, seats reservation in a legislation. So in the legislation also there is a seat reservation for SC and ST people. The constitution also made it possible for the government to reserve public sector jobs for these groups, even in the education, even in a job, okay, and in the contesting in the political affair, they have been reserved. The constitution has also has in it directive principles of the state policy. In the directive principles of the state policy, what it is written, which sets out the main social system before the government. One important aspect of the social engineering is the problem of right of minority. So second thing is right of minorities. Right of minorities. So right of the minorities has been related to the directive principles of the state policy. the sad experience of the suppression of Jewish minority by the Nazi people in Germany. So when Hitler was there in Germany, so he demolished, he deprived, he killed the Jew people in the minds of the constitution maker. So our constitution maker, they had all these things, how the Jews were deprived of their right at the time of Hitler, it was in their mind. They decided to give special protection to the minority community so that they don't feel marginalized by the majority. So that's why they decided that we have to give some facilities to the minority people. One such right is the right of religious minorities to run their own educational institution. So every minority people, they have the right to run their educational institutions. Madrasa is the educational institution of the Muslim people. Like that, different minorities, they have the right to run their schools, institutions, educational institutions. Such institutions may even receive government fund. So all these happened to give a social engineering or social uplift to the minority and deprived classes like SC and STs. Okay, let's now discuss about the constitution. What is the constitution today? How is the constitution today? Constitution today. So if you go through it, there were so many changes have been come. The constitution makers were aware that laws will have to be embedded. What is this embedded? Embedded means changing from time to time. Thus it laid down the provisions of embedding the law and the articles in the constitution. So whatever the articles are there, whatever the laws are there formulated in our constitution, from time to time, at the need of the time, it must be reformed, it must be changed. That is called as a amendment. Often law can be made with the approval of more than half members. So sometimes half members of legislative houses. So we have two houses, upper house, Lok Sabha, and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so one half, sometimes some laws can be embedded with a half of the majority. Okay, however, the embedding of the article on the constitution can be initiated only by the parliament. So who started it? It is initiated by the Parliament of India. It also needs approval of 2/3 majority in Lok Sabha, okay, and Rajya Sabha, upper house and lower house. And some articles may be embedded only with the acceptance from the state legislature. So some articles are there which can be reformed, which can be embedded with the approval of the state government only. Rectification. It is further necessary that the president of the country also approve the new amendment bill like other law. So after the approval, 2/3 approval of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, it goes to president. So president should approve it. Then only the law can be changed. So some major changes in the constitution. See, I will send you the textbook copies. In the different years, in 1950 to 60, there were 7 amendments. In 1961 to 70, there were 15 amendments. 71 to 80, 22. 81 to 90, 22. And 91 to 2016, 2001 to 2013, 17 amendments were made. Okay. So the first among them is the inclusion of the 2 words in 1970 is very important. 1970. See, 1970 comes here. 61 to 70. Okay. The first among these, we included in 1970 amendment, we included 2 words like secular and socialist. Secular and socialist. As in the preamble, we can see it today. India is a secular, socialist, democratic republic. Okay, these secular and socialist, these two words were added to our constitution, to our preamble in 1970 amendment. Many words like in the preamble like equality, liberty, justice, etc. emphasized the value of secularism and socialism, and hence these words were added. So equality, liberty, justice are there. So at last they decided that in 1970 these secularist and socialist two words should be added to our preamble or the constitution. The second major event of the Indian constitution has been the Supreme Court judge, popularly known as Kesavananda Bharati case. Very important. Kesavananda Bharati. This is very one of the important case of Indian constitution. Also we can say Supreme Court judge. It was argued here that the certain provisions of the Indian constitution cannot be changed. So what is the Supreme Kesavananda case? Actually, in that case, the Supreme Court given the order that here we can see that some of the laws can be changed by the amendment. But Supreme Court gave the order in that case that in the judgment on the Kesavananda Bharati case, Supreme Court argued that there are certain basic principles upon which the nation continues to exist while there have been a different opening. So some laws are there on which our constitution, our country is ruling on. It cannot be changed. Okay, the amendment cannot come on these rules. Okay, while there have been a different opinion on what constitution is basic principles, a common listing could be include the following: from the government, federal characteristic. India cannot be changed with the federal characteristics. Supremacy of the constitution. No one has the right to criticize the constitution. Supremacy of the constitution. Sovereignty of the nation. Provision for justice and welfare of the state. So based on these things, these things cannot be changed. Okay. Kesavananda Bharati case, in that case, the Supreme Court has given the judgment about it. So our chapter is completed. I will send you the textbook copies of this and try to understand the concept of this lesson, because this lesson is quite complex and somewhat difficult also. So try to understand this. Thank you.